Welcome all to this EventBridge tutorial. Agenda for today's video is, first we'll cover EventBridge theory. I feel that a bit of theory is necessary before we can move to the demo part. Then we'll be creating an event bus and event rule for our custom application. And after that, we'll create a Lambda function which will be the target and will process our custom event. In the last, once we have all the infra set up, we will be creating a custom app which will publish the event to the event bus. So let's move to the theory part. EventBridge is an event bus which helps in integrating different AWS services, our custom applications, and software as a service applications. So if you are not aware, earlier we used to have CloudWatch events. The only negative point of CloudWatch event was it did not supported custom applications as well as SaaS applications outside of AWS. EventBridge was created for the same purpose. With EventBridge, you can effortlessly create event-driven architectures. For example, let's say if someone terminates instances in your auto-scaling group, you want to log that action in CloudWatch. So this can be effortlessly done in EventBridge. Let's take another example. You want to create automated deployment of your code using code pipeline at 11 PM every day. So you can do that with EventBridge and schedule your events. Another example would be, let's say in your custom application, if user deactivates themselves, you want to send an email asking him for feedback, or you want to schedule a customer representative call and send some custom offers to keep that user in your system. So these all can be done with EventBridge. It's a fully managed service and you only pay what you use inside EventBridge. So as I explained to you earlier, it was formerly called Amazon CloudWatch events. Even now, if you go to CloudWatch, you'll be able to see event section in the left menu. Let me show you that. So this is my CloudWatch console. If you see on the left side, you have this heading called events. If you click on this, you'll see the message here, CloudWatch events is now Amazon EventBridge. So if you have any existing rules, you will continue to see those rules here inside CloudWatch. But if you want to create future events, I think you should move on to EventBridge. Let's now get back to our PPT. Let's cover different parts in EventBridge. First and foremost would be the producer of your events. So this can be your custom application or any AWS service such as EC2, SQS, S3 or any SaaS application. For example, event can be produced by S3 put object, or in your custom application, event can be produced once a user is registered to your application. So once the event is generated, it will be put into the event bus. Inside the event bus, there can be multiple rules. And once a rule is matched, it is further passed into its targets. So if rule is matched, then the target can be, you can see in the diagram, AWS Lambda or Kinesis Firehose or SNS. So single rule can have 5 targets, and so these targets are not restricted to Lambda, Kinesis and SNS. There can be other targets such as EC2 or SQS or code pipeline. So there are close to 17 targets as of now. Let's move to the next section. So we'll cover important terms in EventBridge. The first one is event. An event indicates a change in an environment. So this can be an AWS environment or SaaS partner service or one of your own custom application. Then we have rules. A rule matches incoming events and routes them to targets for processing. As I explained you in the previous slide, whenever a rule matches, the event is passed to the different targets. A single rule can have multiple targets. Max targets would be 5, and all the targets will process the event in parallel. Then what are targets? A target processes the events. Targets can include Amazon EC2 instances, Lambda functions, Kinesis streams, ECS tasks, step functions, state machines, SNS topics, SQS queues. A target receive events in JSON format. Then the last one is event bus. An event bus receive events. So when you create a rule, you associate it with a specific event bus, and rule is matched only to events received by the event bus. Rule cannot be created standalone. It should have its parent as event bus. Now let's look at the use cases for EventBridge. Let's say that you have one application and you have a premium subscription for one of your product. Whenever a customer deactivates from your premium service, you want to perform 3 steps. Okay, so this is a pure event driven architecture. The first step would be to trigger feedback service to know what went wrong with the customer, so that customer provide the feedback if something is wrong with the product. Next would be offers microservice, so that it will create a custom offers for our user, and these offers should be shared with the user so that they can be retained. And the last one is send notification to customer relationship manager. CRM should be notified so that he can call the customer personally and get to know what went wrong. Let's look at the steps one by one. So let's say that at this point user deletes his subscription. Now once this is done, we'll trigger a custom event. So this custom event would be passed into the event bus. Then there will be rule matching. So once a rule is matched here, so these 3 targets would be there. The first one is feedback service, and second one is offer service, and third one is the email service to CRM. Okay, so this is a classic use case and event driven architecture that we can create with the help of EventBridge. So now let's move to the demo part, and before that I'll explain you what application we'll be creating. So in the demo, I'll be creating a Java application which will send custom events to EventBridge, and if a rule matches, target would be invoked, which would be Lambda function in our case, and Lambda will process that event. For now, we will be printing the event details in our Lambda function. Okay. Thanks for watching this video. I've covered the theory part. So in my next videos, I'll cover this demo application in Java and Python. So stay tuned for that. Do subscribe my channel.